Hello and bienvenue to Life's Questions and Lessons, the 5 Minute Self Reflection Podcast. I am your host, Charity Youngblood, and I am so grateful that you are here with me today. Let's get started with today's topic. The moment I realized I could say no. The moment I realized I could say no. So, if this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. If you've been with me over the past few years, welcome back. We are changing the structure of this podcast to really focus on kind of a how to and really the action steps that you can take to do something, to change something. So, this new series is all about how to start saying no. And I thought it was really important to kind of share a personal reflection and a personal story on, first of all, why I started, saying no, and just to help you understand that I've been where you are. I know what it feels like to, the uncomfortable emotions you go through when you think about saying no to a family member or, a loved one. So that's why I really wanted to share my story, just so you can understand, like, I'm with you. But I wanted to start with the moment that I realized that I could say no. And I want you to really take a second to think about those words that I'm saying. And I'll start, go ahead and start the story. But I remember feeling like, wait, I can say no? Has this always been an option? And that's coming from me. So if you've been along the ride, you know that I am very, very much an expert at saying no today in 2024. But in 2017, that was not the case. So I definitely would have identified as a people pleaser in 2017. I love to help people. I still love to help people, but I really love to help people. And I would say yes. If I could do it, it was a yes. And I was planning this event that had like, I think it was like 15 people, and there was some transportation that I had to kind of plan into. I had to talk to everybody and make sure everyone was at a specific place at the certain time that they were able to be picked up. And one person in the particular event who was coming called me the day of and was like, "Yeah, I don't feel like driving anybody. I'm not going to do that." And I remember it like it was yesterday, thinking, what do you what do you mean no? You've committed to this. You said you could do this. You can't just say no. And that really was 2017 was also the year where I started reflecting intentionally. So there were some thoughts that I was like, hold on. If she can say no to this in confidence, by the way, in like there was no, she didn't feel guilty. She didn't feel like it was like she just didn't want to do it. She wasn't going to do what she said she was committed to doing. And I was like, I didn't even know you could do that. So that's really where that moment changed my life. Now, I'm not really keen on saying no to things that you've committed to. That's maybe we'll dive into that on another episode. But what I wanted to share and what I hope you're pulling from what I'm saying is I did not even realize saying no was an option. And if you are in that situation right now, I want to tell you that absolutely no is an option. If it's something that does not align with where you are that day, if it is something that you've committed to and it just doesn't feel right, you do have permission to say no. So I really, really encourage you to think about, and over this series, it's going to be long. We might actually keep this for a year. I don't know. We'll see on the feedback and kind of see how this is going. But I want to really dive deep into how to start saying no and all of the barriers, all of the emotional and mental challenges that come from that you have to navigate through to stand in confidence and say no. And really, what that does, and from on the other side, as I'm on the other side of it now, I say no to everything that I don't want to do. There is so much peace and calm and comfort in knowing who you are and what you will say no to. And I promise you, in this series, you will definitely feel that. So, my suggestion for today is really just to kind of ask yourself, do you believe that it's okay to say no? Do you believe it's okay for you to say no? And if not, then why? So that's what I had on my heart today. As always, thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast wherever you're listening to my words. And if this episode was helpful for you, please share it. And until next time, take care.